Those who turn around and say, but wait a minute, it's socialization, it gives kids an opportunity, perhaps they don't have two siblings at home like you have, it gives them a chance to be with other children their own age, teaches them all kinds of skills.
Take your kid to a supermarket, they'll learn plenty of social skills. Don't touch that, put that back.
Colleen?
You know what, Lynn, in our society today, the amazing thing is you get criticized no matter what side of this issue you fall on. You know, people who choose to stay at home, you're like, you know, the professional world doesn't really want to hear about what's going on with you and your kids, and all of a sudden everything you've done in your past is kind of discredited. And people who choose to work or put their children in daycare all of a sudden are looked upon as not being, you know, good mothers or genuine mothers, or, you know, they're cold-hearted, they put their children in daycare. And it's really difficult. I mean, I think everyone needs to make their own decision on this, and it's not easy. And I think that's why we're at the next level. We broke through the glass ceiling. We can be in the workplace, but now there needs to be an evolution. We need to figure out what comes next so that it's not so hard.
Well, what is it telling us that it's on the cover of Time magazine that more and more young moms are staying home? I mean, this is legitimizing the decision to stay home now when it's on a national magazine like this.
Well, and the new mantra is you can have it all, but not at the same time. And maybe that's the framework that we need to start thinking in, that it's really impossible to do these things both well at the same time. So maybe we need to think about the way that we're laying out our lives. And I think we need to get that message across to women at every stage, so that they're not shocked when this happens to them, when they are forced to make the decision between work and their children.
Well, let's ask our viewers at home if they've had to make that decision, and if so, which decision they made. Let's take our first call of the night tonight, and it comes from Jody. Hi, Jody. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. Is this subject appealing to you?
Yes, it is.
Why?
I wanted to say that I think that it's beneficial that mothers do stay at home, but with how life runs, it's just impossible to balance career and home.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that children are a mother's obligation and a right, but it seems that life takes it from us.
How so, Jody?
Because a lot of times you have to go to work, you have to go to school, you have to be able to financially and in any way support your children, and you can't do that when you're just sitting at home raising them. You have to be able to go out and do other things, and
So
it's just hard.
What should we be doing as a society when it comes to public policy or whatever to make it easier for moms to be home with their kids?
Giving us more access, more programs, more plans to help mothers be able to stay at home.
Have you had to make this decision yourself?
Yes.
And how did you come to the conclusion what was right for you and your family?
I actually had to go to work, and I actually had to put myself through school. So, but it hurts me to have to make that choice, but I know in the long run it will benefit my children.
All right, well, we wish you best of luck with that endeavor. I know it's a tough decision, but you're doing a good job. Thanks a lot, Jody.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Let's take our next call of the night, and it comes from Essie. Hi, Essie. How are you?
I'm great, thank you.
I'm sorry, Effie. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you.
And now, have you made this decision?
Absolutely. I've done both. When I had my first son, I worked and I taught children, elementary school children, and my husband went to school at that time. And then after I had my second, I decided to stay home. And I completely agree with Colleen. I feel that, you know, there are many days that I think back to my old life and I say, boy, I wish I was out there socializing and having a lunch break and being able to be stimulated, you know. But then I know that this is temporary. This is a time for me to give to my family and to my children. And my husband even says it. He says, you know, we might be cutting back on certain things now that I'm at home financially, but what our family is gaining is so much greater, and that we're less rushed and we're more relaxed.
But see, you have that option to do that. There are many people who don't have that option. We're going to talk about that later on in the show, but we wish you the best of luck, Effie. Good to have you with us. Always love to hear from my Maryland viewers. You know that's where I'm from. So we thank you for joining us. I do have to take a first break, but I want to know what you think about our topic. Should moms stay at home? Do you think it's better for the children, or should it be a personal choice? If you want to tell us what you think, go ahead and give me a call or email me at cn8.tv. And when we come back, we're going to hear from some stay-at-home moms themselves and find out what they say about the role they're playing in their children's lives.